Well, hello, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. And today is Sarah's School with another episode of Badditives. It's not going to be that long. Why? Well, one of the reasons is that food companies in the United States are supposed to have all the partially hydrogenated oils out of their foods by 2018, and it's 2018. So hopefully what you've ingested in your past is coming to a great big screeching halt now. And what can I tell you? I can tell you stick with extra virgin olive oil, organic if you can afford it, coconut oil, unrefined, organic, first cold pressed if you can afford it, not the refined. Pasture-raised butters like Vital Farms, Organic Valley, our favorite Kerrygold, and others, not the regular store-bought commercial ones. You want to like move it on over. And even Girl Scout cookies. Now, one of the deals here is that trans fats, if they had up to 0.05 grams of trans fat in them, being a cookie, a pastry, a something, they didn't have to disclose it. So you could have 0.05 grams of trans fat in your 4 Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies, and you didn't know it because it didn't have to be disclosed. Now, I don't know about you, but whoever ate 4 Thin Mints and was totally satisfied? I'm waiting for a hand to go up. No. See? So, stick to high-fat dairy items. Your heart will like you for it. Also, your appetite will like you for it, and things like that. I remember buying cookies when I worked at the homeless shelter in those tubs at the stores, and they had trans fats in them. Yeah, and they had to disclose it on the nutrition label. So it's sort of coming to an end, and hopefully on your Keto Under 20, you're not buying the pastries, the donuts, the Girl Scout cookies, and other items that have contained the PHOs in your past. So I'm glad that it's coming to an end. I didn't like this chapter, can you tell? It was either too technical, too much research, too many tests, too much FDA, too much duping us. So this is another reason I'm glad I do keto and I eat whole, real foods as unprocessed as possible. Now, cream is processed, butter is processed, coconut oil is minimally processed, but you know what we're talking about here. The stuff that made you come here, go to Weight Watchers, go to Nutrisystem. The scary stuff of gaining weight from having too much of these good things. And so Lord knows what they're doing in their recipes to keep us from it. But there was a sitcom, it was Jerry Seinfeld. It was back in 1993, so 25 years ago, right? And so there was this whole thing about non-fat yogurt. And I guess Lane and Kramer began patronizing a non-fat frozen yogurt emporium, and they started gaining weight. And the irony, of course, which it was non-fat. And of course, we have proven with many, many scientific studies now that non-fat, low-fat that was introduced back then in the 90s would make us gain weight, just like they say that about diet soda, just like they say that about artificial sweeteners, is that here we are thinking that we're, losing weight and everything else, and suddenly our appetite is triggered, chemically we become imbalanced, we start gaining weight, and it's like, how could that be? I switched from real Coke to Diet Coke. Well, yeah. So it was a so-so study. It was a so-so chapter, partially hydrogenated oils. I use macadamia nut oil, walnut oil, extra virgin olive oil, organic when I can find it, avocado, organic when I can find it. I do not have partially hydrogenated Crisco, things like that. Now, some people say cook with lard or tallow, and it's very hard to find those without chemicals added to them or the BHA, BHT. So it's a tough one. I have seen organic lard on Amazon, but I'm happy with my coconut oil. I'm happy with my EVU, my macadamia nut. Avocado can be used at high heat, so can coconut oil. Not so much extra virgin olive oil and butter, neither one like high heat. But we can certainly get our fill of the good fats, even saturated like coconut oil, at a high heat and for satiation. And I love my fats. So this chapter was kind of long. It was 17 pages on PHOs, but coming up in 2018, they have to be removed from American-made food. So they're probably removed from European food like, 2 decades ago, because they're much more on the ball about taking care of people and caring about people than the American food system ever will be. Unfortunately, they're just going to have to come up with some chemical glob that will escape notice, and it will be killing the patients and causing the doctors and the pharma to get rich, because they're going to be maintaining unhealthy and never asking. Do you ever been to a doctor and he says, do you still use Crisco? Really? I don't think so. And I laughed when Crisco came out with a coconut oil, as if I could ever buy a Crisco coconut oil. You've been poisoning me for decades, and now you want me to think that you're really caring by coming out with coconut oil? I don't think so. So I'll stick to my organic, cold-pressed, unrefined from BJ's. Thank you very much. Or sometimes you can upgrade to a Calapo, which is a more expensive coconut oil. I've had it. It's organic. It's delicious, but I really can't taste the difference. So instead of spending like $12 for a 12-ounce jar, I go to BJ's and get my 54 ounces of coconut oil. So still flip over things. Supposedly this man had done test after test after test. His name was Kumaro, and he actually filed a 27-page legal document about how bad it is to have PHOs. And somebody came to his birthday party and bought one of those commercial, store-bought cakes that had trans fat, and it supposedly he threw it at them. I mean, talk about missing the point. I guess, life is stranger than, real life is stranger than fiction, isn't it? So, yeah, that's it. It's not the best, not the worst video, but just read your labels if you have to buy things for your kid's school thing or a birthday party or something. They're going to try to get away with it. If your grandmother didn't have it, if she couldn't pronounce it, if it wasn't back then 50, 60, 75 years ago, don't be buying it. Find something better. Find something, that you can do. Make a keto cheesecake. I don't know. I'm not into desserts anymore. That's a funny thing that happened with keto, is that I lost my sweet tooth, which is a good thing. And although we can't change the rest of the world, and they still believe in birthday parties with cakes or cupcakes and things like that, I guess we just can sidestep and let somebody else be responsible for that and just not partake. I don't know. So stay away from the PHOs, partially hydrogenated oils. Just think Crisco. Thanks so much for watching. There'll be better videos coming. Bye-bye for now.